Okay, so here we are another day. Now that I've got this floor support member, cross member, bulkhead, whatever you want to call it, figured out, I need to finish up these panels. So I finished this one up last night, this panel here, because this panel will tie into the side. There's a break in the panel that'll tie into the side of the doghouse and tie all that in together, and then I can start working on the floorboard. So I need to finish up the other one that goes on this side, this panel right here. So I need to do some adjustment on that to get this reveal of the tubing right. And then after that, what I need to do is figure out how my intake tubing is going to run. So there's going to be a 90-degree up here in front of my finger that 90s into the intake on the, the throttle body. And then it's going to come over this way, and then the air filter is going to live over here. So I need to get that. I'm going to have to drill a hole in the back of the doghouse here for the tubing to run through. I've got another one of these rubber fittings that's a 90-degree. Then I'll have to trim this tube down. But I need to get that all installed so that I can start figuring out how to build out the center console so that it clears this. So I debated on turning the intake back around and running the air filter out here. I'm still kind of debating. If I do that, then that's gonna negate my whole throttle body or throttle cable setup, and I'll probably have to get a longer throttle cable because it's gonna have to run opposite direction and over onto this side. So yeah, I'm not sure. I've been told in dusty situations and things that having the air filter in the cab is much better, although it's going to be noisier. And that's been a debate that I've been back and forth on quite a bit. And somehow I arrived at at having it backwards. And I think the reason being is just because it gives me so much more room up here. Because there'll be a oil cooler up here, power steering cooler, oil filter, battery will live over there, orbital, power steering reservoir over here. I just like how open it is up here. So I think I'm just going to battle and keep on going with plan A and keep that intake turned around the way it is. All right. So we're gonna put some Dzus tabs in for this panel here. I'm gonna show you how I do this. I got these little jigs that I made up on the 3D printer. And here's your Dzus tab. This holds the spring. I'll show you how to do that too, or how I do that anyway. So these little jigs have magnets right here to hold the tab. So I'm going to put one right there. And then I think I'll put one kind of directly across from this one. So what I do is I rotate these. I make sure the leg is kind of down in there. That's where the weld's going to go. Then I'm going to take the panel. I'm going to put it back in there. I'm going to rotate these jigs to where they're pressed right up against the panel. So that I have that tab positioned exactly where I need it as far as rotation on the tube. And then I'm going to come in here. I'm going to weld these up. I haven't figured out a way to weld these super clean with the TIG welder or with the MIG welder yet. TIG welding would be best, but it just takes so much time to do each one. I've been MIG welding it. The tube's really cold, so I have it set up kind of hot, and then there's spatter, and hey, whatever. It's part of the deal, I guess. So I'll come back after I get these welded up. Okay, so I've got these tabs welded up, and what I've been doing technique-wise as far as welding, because these are so thin, is I've got the welder set at 17.8 volts, wire speed is 226, and I just tack them. I just go tack, 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 because these wires are so, or these brackets are so thin. All right, so now that we got those in, the next thing I got to do is put the springs in the back, and you do that with a pop rivets. They come with pop rivets. And here's your springs. You got to make sure that you put them in correctly. You don't want to put them in this way. You want to put them in this way so that there's a standoff and there's a spring between the plate and this bar right here, because this bar is what the quarter turn fasteners turn into. So they go on like this. Thinking about getting a battery powered rivet gun, but this is not bad. It's not like I'm doing a bunch of them. Get some of these button head quarter turn fasteners. And then we need the little transfer punch. This is the little transfer punch. Hopefully that's showing up. But this is what tells you where to put your hole in your panel. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put these back in. These are the other panels. Then we're going to place our transfer punch. I'm going to start with this panel right here. Need to get our hammer. We'll lay the panel in there about where we want it. And then we'll tap it right here. And that's going to transfer the center of that Dzus tab to the back here. You can see it right there. I don't know what that is, but this is it right here. You come over here, I got a little piece of aluminum on the back side of my vise here. And I'm just going to take that little transfer and hit it with a punch just so I get a cleaner divot or witness mark, whatever you want to call it. And then I just use my step bit to drill it. We'll drill it on the back side first. Then I'm going to go ahead and flip it over and drill through the front side so it doesn't roll the burr out. And that's it. And then I've got my drill set up with a countersink bit or a taper bit, whatever you want to call it. I take this, clean up that burr on the back side. And then come over here. Catch that. Need the hammer again. Should probably just leave one over here, but this is the only panel I'm doing right now. Take that out. Take my transfer punch out. There's my transfer right there. Go back over here and drill it. Then we got a panel installed, Dzus fasteners installed, and that one's done. Now since I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and trace where this flange ends up. All right, now we're done with that. Now we can move on to punching a hole through the backside of the heat shield and running our intake tubing across there so that I can start figuring how I want to design that center console. So we got this hole elongated, cleaned up. There's no burrs, no sharp edges. Cut down our elbow. We just need a little bit more adjustment. I don't think we can ask for much more than that. So that's in there. That's in there the way it needs to be. So I think before we commit to everything else here, well, I've already got Clecos ready for this, so I'll just use Clecos for now. I still need to figure out the access port for the access hole for the dipstick. Should I finish that right now or what? I think yes. I think I finished that right now, so it's checked off my list, and I can go ahead and figure this out and move forward. This is already pretty well done. We're gonna have another tube that goes right here, and then a 45 that goes right there, and that's where our air cleaner is gonna live. So yeah, do that. Everything's pretty much taken apart now, so I might as well finish up my rib nuts that go up here, finish up that top real quick. I think that's a good idea. All right. That. Okay, well, we got hole punch for the intake. Got the lid all buttoned up. Now I think it's time to figure out how I want to do this, the face of the dash here. We've got a couple of different products we're going to need to put in there. We've got the Switch pros panel. We've got the Holley digital dash. We have the radio, the comms, rugged radio. We have the intercom box, and we have there'll be a Bluetooth setup for the just so we can listen to our music. So the depth going this way toward the dash or toward the heat shield. So the dash is going to have to come out to clear the tubing for the intake. I'm just kind of using this as a straight edge. But if it comes out like that, that should be enough. And what I'm thinking is I'm going to end up probably folding the flange on the bottom back underneath here and catching this piece here. And then anything for the floor will come up and meet it and then go back down. But I'm thinking what I need to do first is figure out that dash panel, I guess. And then we'll kind of go from there.